We've worked really hard at Gunner Technology to create a uh, WordPress theme for our standard publishing sites that we build that creates a defined separation of responsibility. And what that means is that it's flexible enough to let developers do their jobs, designers do their jobs, and content creators do their jobs with no one having to worry about the other person's responsibility. In this situation, this screencast, we're going to take a look at how developers set up the designers to be able to easily customize almost any aspect of the visual look and feel of the website. So in this case, we had a designer who said they want to be able to make this font size bigger right here, this link right here. So most of the time, and actually in this case, this was already available as an option. The designer just wasn't aware of it. So basically, we have a panel in our theme that looks like this, and it's really big because this is an example of as designers ask to be able to customize certain aspects of the theme, the developers will build in the ability for the designers to customize that area of the theme. So you see there's a lot of options here that are already customizable, and you can see you can just click upload an image. If you want to add a background image, you can change the display from inline block to inline block or none. For a lot of these things, you can change height and so forth and so on. Obviously, it's imperative that you understand CSS because these are all CSS rules here. So in the case of the font size issue, all you have to do is the developers will use a standard naming convention to find for the using CSS selectors to name it in the admin panel. So in this case, let me just resize my window here. In this case, you can see it looks like there's this nav element here, and what we actually want to change the font size of is this A element here. And so the convention looks something like this that the developers will use. It looks something like, so the path to that element was something like nav, and then the class name was like nav next previous, and then we wanted to target the A tag. So the developers will use a convention where they replace any non-alphanumeric character with an underscore. So basically, the path that we're going to set that up with in the admin panel is going to be nav underscore nav next previous underscore A. So that's how it's going to be stored in the database, most likely. And then that means in the admin panel, the label will be this minus the underscore, so it'll look something like this. So if you go back to the admin panel and you search the page, which is the easiest way to do it, you see there's no results. So okay, so maybe we didn't target it that specifically. So we're going to look for nav next previous, and right there our first result is this nav next previous A font size, and right now it's set to 1.2 ems, and if you don't know what ems are, it's a standard measurement for font sizes in web design. I encourage you to just check that out. There's plenty of articles on that. So right now it's set to 1.2 ems, which in our grid system is about 12 pixels. So let's make that about 2 pixels bigger. So we'll set it at 1.4 ems. Or 14 pixels. And then I'm just going to hit enter here, which is a shortcut for submitting this form. And if we go back, we'll find that our font size has been changed. So let's go back to our page here. Refresh. And the font size is bigger. Now again, if that's not big enough, we can change it to 1.6 ems. And so forth and so on. And by the way, there's no reason why you can't, a designer, if they need more fine control, can't change this to 16 pixels. We prefer to use M because it's more flexible for flex design. But if the designer needs specific control, there's no reason why they can't set that to 16 pixels. And that's just a very basic tutorial over how developers set up designers to be able to customize the theme that we use in WordPress.